Alright, welcome back guys. These last couple of videos we've been working on combining our picking hand motion and our fretting hand motion to get in sync and move through the sequences smoothly. Again, these techniques and these warm-ups can be played anywhere on the neck, on any frets, so that you can apply it to the stuff that you want to learn. This is just to help you be moving, get that muscle memory, and start really getting a feel for the instrument, because when it becomes an extension of yourself, that's when you really will, unlock your potential for what you can do. So for this video, you're not going to need a pick. In this video, we're going to be applying our picking hand and our fretting hand still, but we're going to be doing tapping. If you have any experience playing the piano, the music theory that'll go along with this is essentially the same as what you would do on a piano, where I would be playing the broken down pieces of the chords with different fingers instead of using the pick. One of the things that I want to keep in mind is I'm still, like the legato technique, using this part of my palm to mute the strings. All right? I don't want to get that feedback, get that very high-pitched whiny sound while I'm playing, or even when I shut off in between songs potentially. I don't want to be getting that excess noise. I want people listening to just hear the notes I'm playing. So one of the things that I want you guys to focus on is that muting technique while you go through this. So the first thing we're going to do is I do tapping with one of these two fingers. All right, my index finger or my middle finger, depending on if I'm holding my pick or not. Whichever finger you decide is best for you is what you should go with. This is all about you being comfortable so that you can apply it. That's the most important thing with any of these lessons, is that you are comfortable with the technique yourself, because just because I do it one way doesn't mean it's the right way. You could play it the same phrase as me in a different, with a different finger. It doesn't mean it works for you. So please, make these your own. I'm just giving you some of the basics to help you move forward. This first phrase that we're going to work on is just going to be based on one string. All right, get that technique down first before we move into you differentiating, how it feels to be tapping on different strings. So we're just going to start on the first string. For me, this is the easiest string. And this technique also, just like the sweep picking triplet arpeggio technique that we went over, is going to be super, super critical to developing that sense of timing. Because I am and essentially what I'm doing while I'm tapping is adding a note that isn't normally something I would play in a pattern. For example, if I'm starting on the 10th fret of my first string and I'm picking, I can play these three notes before I really run out of notes that I can apply with the fingers I have. By adding one of these two fingers, I am essentially extending the scale and playing an extension of this first note. All right, so the thing that's really important is this is the last one we were counting in triplets. This one we are not. All right, you're going to be counting those four notes because we are adding another note to this progression. So for this specific phrase, what you're going to want to do is you're going to start on the 7th fret of the first string. I take that back. You'll be starting on the 5th fret of the first string. All right? So again, I'm going to be using 1, 3, and 4. My ring finger is on the 7th fret. My pinky finger is on the 8th fret. Feel free to add this middle finger and warm up however, make sure you get both in. All right? This is about getting your whole hand warmed up, not just one or two fingers. All right. So with my tapping hand, one of the things that I want to express is that the proper technique is I'm going to be muting with the meat of my palm, kind of draping my hand over it. I know this is kind of complicated because I got sleeves on. That's another thing to consider, is that because I'm wearing sleeves right now, that is going to mute the strings when they hang over the bottom. And I never thought of that before when I first started playing. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, is that there are a ton of factors that go into creating your sound. So when I tap, what I want to do is I want to push down on this string and I want to pull off in a way that's kind of down and away from the neck of the guitar, because I am kind of essentially plucking away at the string. And it's kind of like I'm flicking it away. I'm putting the pad of my finger, or if I'm using my middle finger, I'm getting that flick downward motion so that I can get the full extent of that note. Alright, so this phrase, it's going to speed up throughout, and that's how we're going to add more notes in this timing, also get that timing workout in, as we're going through this. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start on the 12th fret is where I'm going to be tapping from. I'm going to start, I already messed that up. Alright, I'm going to start from the 12th fret. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I move up to 13. Down to 10. Back to 12. To 15. Alright, now you're going to take your metronome if you're working with a metronome. If you want to increase the speed, what this phrase sounds like all the way through slow is like this. If I want to increase my metronome speed, what I can do is set it a little bit faster as I progress and do this exercise in 3 different parts, where I'm kind of taking it slow like a crawl, steady like a walk, and then trying to run with it. And that'll help you build that speed and get comfortable playing these tapping techniques in different speeds and different styles to help you apply this to stuff that you like to do. So if I was going to do that, this is what this phrase would sound like. Remember, the thing that I'm really trying to focus on is the push, and you're kind of pulling the string down to flick tiggy. That's how you're really getting the full extent of the note. So you are probably going to want to move that around, move that up and down the fretboard, get a feel for how it feels down here and how it feels down here. Your fingers are going to have to stretch a little bit farther. But this next exercise is going to help us with ascending and descending the strings instead of going sideways. And it's also going to help you get a feel for how hard you've got to push down as you're alternating strings, or if you've got different string gauges on than I do. So this next phrase, we're going to be starting on the 10th fret of the 6th string. And I'm going to be doing the same pattern as I was in the first exercise, and I'm going to be playing my index finger, my ring finger, and my pinky finger. And once I've gone through it like that, I want to switch it up and do my index finger, my middle finger, my pinky finger. Get my whole hand moved up so that we can move and sync together. With my picking hand, I'm going to go down to 17. Alright? Alright, so I am going to have to push a lot harder than I did on that first string. But that's why it's important to get comfortable with your sound. Alright? So the harder I push, the better the little sound I get. Or I don't want to push too hard where I strangle the chord dead. Alright? So one of the things is to find that balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 17, pull off to 10, 12, 13, and then when I get down to that 13, I'm going to move down to the 5th string. And each time I complete that phrase, 17, 10, 12, 13, I'm going to move down the string. When I get to the bottom, I'm going to take it back up. It's going to look something like this. with the exercise, as I tapped lower, right, I want to keep these top strings muted so I don't get that feedback. And that's just one little thing to think about as you're going up and down. If you're getting that feedback, not isolating the notes, that will help you clean up that sound, get that technique down. We'll definitely be working on more phrases like that in the future. Tapping is one of the things that I love to do. So please, if you have any questions, need any resources, let me know. Any video ideas, leave them down in the comments, and I will do my best to make one up for you. So it was great hanging out with you guys today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.